Passengers bus is coming. Passengers bus is coming.
Morning. Thank you.
Check the V pilot to make sure the audio's all there, which it is. I don't know why he's not answering. Call him again. Lübeck Tower, Tomjet 472.
Tomjet 472, Lübeck Tower, hello.
Tomjet 472, radio check.
Tomjet 472, read you 5 by 5.
Thanks. Okay, so he reads us 5 by 5, so we'll call him for clearance and see what he says. We're at stand 2 mic, so let's give him a shot and see what he says. Lübeck Tower, hello, Tomjet 472, type 738, stand 2 mic, with information echo, request IFR clearance to Nice.
Tomjet 472, Lübeck Tower, hello, information echo is correct, started with approved clear to Nice via Hamburg, 1 Alpha departure, flight plan route, climb via SID 5000 feet, squawk 1000.
Okay. Cleared via the Hamburg 1 Alpha departure, runway 07, climb initial 5000, squawk 1000, Tomjet 472.
472, read back correct.
Okay, so we'll call him for startup when we are ready to go. So that's us all checked. Electric hydraulic pumps are all in and ready to go. Get the anti-collision lights. We don't need the tug or anything, so we are going to just start up straight from stand. Let's get the GSX up. Get everybody to re-go. So we'll start that all up and get ready to leave. So I'm going to restart the GSX. I should clear them all off. Then that will give us a little bit more leeway for us to depart. So any collision light which is on, press the start up. We've got down here, we've got 92.4% N1, D-rate takeoff 130 on the flex. We're doing for a flaps 10 takeoff and squawk 1000. Okay, 1000, which is checked. We'll get the traffic on as well, as I did forget to turn that off. I don't know why I've been forgetting to put the traffic on. I've been thinking to myself, why is the traffic not working? But for some reason it was because we wasn't pressing the traffic button. Always used to press it during the normal flights, so I'm not really too sure why that hasn't been happening. So we're ready for startup. Get the packs off, 1 and 2. Going to get the chocks removed as well from the aircraft. Okay, which are all set, as we're going to basically just turn straight around. There's our flaps 10 for takeoff as well. Tomjet 472, ready for startup.
Tomjet 472, started approved.
Start approved, Tomjet 472. So we're ready to go. The packs are off, APU bleed is on, and all our pumps are in and set. So we'll go for engine number 2. Start valves open. N2's increasing. All pressure temps will come to life again. 25% will inject fuel, and we'll see EGT start to increase. 5000 transition level 6000 for us to switch over the Q&H's. There's 25%. Number 2's coming in. So we're going to swing a left and go straight out onto the hold, which is going to be right here for the taxi. EGT is now increasing for engine number 2. So never flown out of Lübeck before, so that will be something interesting. It's a short runway, it's got 6,900 meters, so we need to do a flaps 10. We've got the D-rate number 1 coming in. So 56% starter cutouts back, go for engine number 1. Okay, while that's happening, let's go over to our plan. Just have a little look at the route. Straight to Hamburg. There's the Hamburg VOR. Okay, 25%. Inject fuel, which is jacked. Hamburg's VOR 113.1. Engine number 2 now slowly just powering up. So we've got quite a few VORs, 113.1 which is in, 1131, engine number 1 now which is all checked and set, so Gen 1 and 2 over to Gen 1 over on the battery, probes can now go on, packs are auto, isolation valves are open, bleeds with the APU bleed can go off, and the APU engine start switches are continuous, in the cabin let them know that we are ready to go. Checking out on the climb out all the way, so we can take LNAV and VNAV, which will come through. Who's doing LNAV? We basically engage VNAV after flaps up is retracted, and then we'd engage VNAV as well. So we're going to call the tower, get the taxi. Start the runway is literally just right there, so I'm just going to get the taxi, and then we can get ready to go. So it'll be the alpha hold, I should imagine so. So we're going to need all the runway that we can get. Tomjet 472, ready for taxi, runway 07.
Tomjet 472, perform 180, taxi holding port runway 07 via Zulu 1 at Alpha, report ready for departure.
Okay. 180 turn, taxi Zulu Alpha, holding point 07, Tomjet 472, report ready for takeoff. So Zulu Alpha is literally this taxiway right here over to our left, so we're pretty much just going to do a 180 and then swing around. So parking brakes can be released, flaps 10 which needs to be engaged. So I'm quite intrigued to see how the departure is going to fare with the Top Cat takeoff performance. Parking brakes released, we're going to do a 180. Okay, so before takeoff checklist, auto brakes RTO, now VNAV is engaged, flaps 10 which is set green light. Leaving out flex temp 30, D-rate takeoff 1 for 91.6 I think. Oh, there we go, we're leaving out the 91.6% N1. And here we are now at Alpha, ready for our departure. We'll stand for holding point Alpha right here, and then we'll line up and wait and get ready to go. There's holding point Alpha. Tomjet 472, holding point Alpha, request takeoff 07.
Tomjet 472, 103, 03, 11 knots, runway 07, clear for takeoff, have a nice flight, bye bye.
Okay, for takeoff, runway 07, thanks, bye bye, Tomjet 472. Okay, so we get the strobes on, okay, which are checked. Runway turn-offs. Cabin crew, take your seats for departure. So we're going to need all the runway that we can get here. Okay, so we're ready to go. So takeoff lights, the landing lights which are all on and checked. We are ready to leave. We'll go to Unicom afterwards and proceed on to Nice. So 50%. Get the trimming stabilised and toga. check. Just having a margin of about 100 meters. Check, throttle hold. 100, neutral on the column. Rotate. Gear up. Okay, V2 plus 20. Just gonna hold in for flaps 5. Got 068 coming out on departure. There's climb coming in. Water brake can be turned off. And the gear can be turned off as well. Flaps 5. Speed check, flaps 1. And flaps up, which is checked. There's the outer marker. As we're going for a right hand turn now. Switch over to Unicom in just a second once we leave his airspace. Okay, we're taking to a right hand turn. CMDA. That was just checked. VNAV switch in. That'll hold us for 5,000. 6,000 is going to be in before the transition. After takeoff, channels, runway tunnel flights, taxis which can go off. Holding 5,000 now. 230, going to hold on the speed. As we come round onto that right hand turn, I'm just going to be over to 256. Okay, we'll climb for initial 5,000. Tomjet 472, would you like us to go over to Unicom?
FM.
Yeah, over to Unicom, Tomjet 472, thanks, bye bye. Okay, 122.8, TRA, which is on. Climb up now. Altitude intervene can go on as well. We've got 360. Okay, which is checked. Altitude intervention, which is on, and the aircraft's now going to climb out. After takeoff checklist, all the brakes off. Flaps are up, no lights. Gears up, no lights. Engine start switch to continuous. Engine anti-ice switch can go on as we're just passing through the clouds. And we're going to climb up now for flight level 360. Once we leave off from the Hamburg departure, we'll make a slight left-hand turn. which then going to lead us up under 10,000 will be 4250 on the speed. Max 230, now we've left run for 25. Hamburg 113.1, 18 nautical miles, as we now track inbound to 257. Okay, 257 which is checked. A little bit bumpy, can release the cabin now. And just passing through for 10,000 feet, landing lights are all up, seatbelt signs can go off as well. It's quite cloudy. Got up to our climb speed now, 310. Got cruise of 0.79, which is nice, and 308.79 for 360. Got FsRealistic in, got GSX Pro, which we used to board the passengers. As you can see, it's a little bit choppy as we send up now to flight level 360. So we're going to fly over Germany, Geneva. Then we'll make our way into Nice. Nice tower's gone off for now, but there might be some controllers that come online as we pass through their airspace en route to Nice. Going edges over to standard now. 1013, and passing flight level 115. So we're using the real-time weather and the real-time on the sim, so the real-time and the real-time weather. So it's quite clear now, we've broken through the ceiling. And we're just passing over the Hamburg VOR, so we can switch that off now. Which is checked. It's going to make a left-hand turn to 244. Okay, which is also set and checked. So if we do pass any controllers airspace that do happen to come online over Germany, etc., then we will contact them. I'm sure they'll buzz us to come in. We're going to go straight through Germany and then pass through Geneva, making that turn for Viva for the 7 Romeo. So we're going to transition off for Neres. So I'll get the flight route up here. The only reason I wasn't using Navigraph before on here is because the Navigraph for 8 wasn't on for the update when it first came out, but now it is. I can show you guys exactly the routing. So here's our routing that we're going to take. We're going to come straight through Germany, then we'll pass through Geneva, and then we're going to come through the Viva 7 Romeo, which is going to take us straight through to Neres. Then once we go to Neres, I'm going to make a slight left-hand turn, come in for the RMP Alpha for runway 04 left, and then swing a right-hand turn into the airport. I do have a lovely Swiss Vatsim event that I do need to upload, which will get uploaded today at some point, and that does have the RMP Alpha approach, so we have to swing a left-hand turn in on the descent path when we come in. But if you want to see the approach basically going to be a Viva below 220 above 170 transition, which we will get from ATC. I'm sure it's going to be about 6,000 or so. Pass through Amgel for 11.4 and above 140. Once we hit Mikru, then flight 10 above Altki. Then we make a right hand turn to Neres, and then from Neres, which is our transition for the RMP Alpha, we come through from Neres and then straight to Bisbo. So Neres to Bisbo, 3,000 max 190. We hit Basbo at 3,000 feet, Foxtrot Oscar 4 Alpha. We start the descent, and then we come through, riding it straight to the Charlie Golf Sierra. Then we're going to swing a right hand turn, which will intercept us down into 04 left. So it's all going to be manually done. The minimums is 2000, so we'll be flying, by the time we pass the Foxtrot November 04 Alpha, we will be practically flying manually down to intercept in for 04 left on the arrival. So it should be a very nice approach. Get the taxi in stands as well. We're going to be looking to come off of Echo Yankee, or we could come off at Hotel 3, either one today for us. And that should be a nice flight. It's nice and sunny. There's a little bit of choppiness going on as we're just climbing up to 360. A little bit of loose air in the vicinity, but apart from that, it should be a really nice flight. And there we are now, just going towards Astad on the Lima 23, and then we take a left-hand turn just to pass over. Opens through flight level 210 now for 360. We'll make a right hand turn to the 206. Okay. So if there's any traffic in the vicinity, we should see it, as I've managed to get the traffic all working above board now. Got the traffic set to 100 nautical miles when we to see the traffic on our navigational display. So I've got some lovely views, wings flexing just a little bit on the departure. There's a 206 left-hand turn coming in now. Okay, engine start switches can be turned off. Engine anti-ice switch is on. There it is, a little bit choppy today. So there's no traffic in the vicinity, be about 100 nautical miles. It won't display traffic at 100 nautical miles beyond. But as we pass through Germany, it is quite busy there in the airspace, so I'm sure that we are going to see some traffic on board. So flight level 250. So we might get control in, we might not, we'll see. Estimated en route time is 1 hour 53. You can follow us on Vatsim as well. Just left Hamburg, well, just passing Hamburg to come through. Estimated time of arrival was 13:38. Estimated time of departure was 11:45. Oh, lovely. Minus 18 on the climb, 97.2 on the climb out. It VNAV speeds in until we reach up to 360. So it's just a case now of sitting back and waiting to see what happens. If it gets here, hit the clock. Been airborne now for around 15 minutes. Top of climb, which is just within reach. Once we get to the Oscar Sierra November VMR, then we're going to brake left onto the 214 for November Victor Oscar. So 8,000 to go for our top of climb. FsRealistic, just the jumpiness going on. Recall's clear. Winds at flight 360 when we reach our top of climb. Our top of climb at 360 should be around 57 knot winds currently. Once we get to 3.6, on the climb out it's between 40 and 70 knot winds, which you can see is apparently 61. So we've got the real time and real time weather, so everything's all real time today. Even the time, usually I change the time myself, but today we've left the time to real time weather to take care of. 6,000 to go, top of climb. When we arrive down, it should be about 3.3 tons of fuel left once we arrive down in Nice. Okay, so we're going to burn 0.7 until we get to the Oscar Sierra November. And our arrival time in Nice is going to be 14:40, 13:05, so around 1 hour and 35 minutes en route to Nice. Getting ready to fast flight level 310 now. 3,000 to go. Then that'll be us at 3.6 all the way down. Can get the glare shield down as well, I think. Should be one around here. So enjoy the en route flight, guys. If controllers come on, we will get in contact with them. If not, we'll carry on flying and get down to Nice. There's our routing, the whole route. Let's take that vector out as well. Okay, 1,000 to go. So we're now at our top of climb, flying level 360, as we'll maintain this level until we get down near to Nice's facility. If controllers do come in through Germany on our way through to Nice or Geneva, then we will get in contact with them on our way down. So nice high level today, 3.6, lovely TUI livery. And the clouds are quite low, so it's clear skies up here. We'll check the METARs coming down into Nice on arrival to see what they're saying, and we'll see if tower is on when we come down, as it was on before we left. They've seemed to have shut off. Now we're going to take this left-hand turn from the November Victor Oscar. That's going to take us direct down to Nice. So we'll break off the 214 for the 188 for Limgo, and then that's pretty much us all the way down, straight down to Viva, passing Geneva on the way through. So if we get any turbulence, I'm sure FsRealistic will punch it in. Tailwind 56 knots currently. I've been in the air now for around about 20 minutes. On VATScope, you can catch us on VATScope for the routing. So we're going to hold this altitude now. Distance to go until we get to Nice. We've got 611 nautical miles. So if we took that into consideration for our ground speed, which is 504, it's going to take us just over an hour. About an hour and 15 minutes before we get down to Nice. So if we check the time now, 1:15, 14:40. So yeah, about an hour and a half. As we can see, if our ground speed is 504 nautical miles an hour, 607, 610, so it's going to take us an hour to cover 500 nautical miles, and then the odd extra 100 miles, which would be about 15 minutes, about 15-20 minutes. So this left-hand turn is then going to take us right over Germany, direct down to Nice. That'll be the November Victor Oscar. Then we've got the Golf Tango Quebec. Now on SimBrief it will give you all of these VOR stations on your routing, which you can check out. So you can put the VORs in when going on your routing. So we're just going to pass Osnabrück. And then we've got Norendovich, which we're tracking inbound to now. Then we've got Gross-Tenquin, which is the Golf Tango Quebec 11125. That's what we're going to be tracking inbound after we leave the November Victor Oscar. Traffic's a little bit dense around here, around this part of the area right now, but as we start making these left-hand turns, we should see some traffic start popping up along the way as we enter in through Germany, as it is quite scarce. We've got the V-Pilot, which is set to show aircraft under 100 nautical miles, so any aircraft that jump in between that, then they'll show up on the navigational display. What you have to do is just make sure you've got the traffic button, which is set, and it will indicate that the traffic is active by the TFC, which is right here. So traffic will pop up eventually. Okay, 360 holding. So we're just making that left-hand turn onto the 188 now. Then we'll track the 179 back to the 180. So we're going to start heading through Germany now. So you can see the traffic now climbing up through it's 1006 below. Hey Chris, hello my man. Hope you're having a good afternoon, pal. Yeah, sure, we'll go out to an outside view in just a moment. So we can see we've got the traffic there. Should be coming up the left hand side of us. You can see him. So there's a lovely 738 TUI livery. Looks absolutely stunning. I do like the TUI livery. It's always a lovely, colourful sight to see, should we say. So I'll slip backwards and forwards through it. You see the traffic just over to our left now, only 600 feet, so he should be right next to us. I can't see him. Probably going up to 6360, I should imagine. He's somewhere. There's an aircraft there just going past. Hey, welcome, pal. Always got to do a outside view, you know, it always does look lovely. Seeing the outside of the 737-800. So there's traffic there, 360 with us. Can't really see him, but he is there somewhere. We've got him on radar. He's just over to our left. Oh, he's somewhere. He's somewhere. Then from the 188 we're going to then switch to the 155 left hand turn, and then we'll backtrack again. So we've got the Golf Tango Quebec VOR in now. We're 80 nautical miles just passing. That's going to track us for the 155 to Seagull. Now there is a way that you can track inbound the VORs. Now I could show you. I'll show you quickly how you track a VOR, and we'll go back into our flight plan. So if you wanted to track a VOR, not that you would need to, but when you're doing a VOR approach, you can use the VOR and to use the VOR lock. But you have to be in headed mode in order to activate the VOR lock to track the inbound VOR. So when we get a little bit nearer, I'll show you how to track a VOR, not that you'd need to in the 737, but for VOR approaches, this would be the same sort of procedure that you could use. You'd use LNAV and VNAV, or you'd use head and select, and then arm the VOR lock. The VOR lock would then activate, and just like it would with the localizer, and it would track inbound for the VOR coming in. So you can see it's just a little bit jumpy as we come through. There's a little bit of snow down on the ground as we pass over. It does look very nice. It does look very nice indeed. Then we're going to hit Limgo and then take that left onto the 155. So there's the VOR. So just for sort of not training purposes, but just for guidance. Say we was now getting ready to go inbound to the VOR. Say the Golf Tango Oscar was the VOR for the airport, for instance, that we were going to land at. When we get a little bit closer to Limgo, to 24 nautical miles, then I'll show you if that was our VOR at the airport, and we was going to track in to the runway's VOR for the VOR approach. As I say, you can use LNAV and VNAV, or you can use a VOR lock, but the only way to get the VOR to lock in onto the VOR lock is to be in head and select mode and then arm the VOR lock. So it should work, same principles, even though we're 36,000 feet. We wouldn't need to in the 737, but with the 727, etc., then obviously if it was doing VOR to VOR navigation, then the aircraft would obviously be using this to track inbound to VORs. But once we get around 5 nautical miles, I've tuned in the 155 on the course, and we've got the Golf Tango Quebec on the 11125, which is right here. So say this was a VOR approach, I was going to use VOR lock to intercept in for the runway. We could use VOR lock and VNAV, or VOR lock and vertical speed. Once we get to around 10 nautical miles, I'll switch the aircraft into heading mode, and then we'll activate the VOR lock, and you'll see the aircraft track inbound. If you do it with LNAV and then hit VOR lock whilst in LNAV, then the aircraft's not going to track inbound. But if you do it through head and select mode, the aircraft will track. So I'll show you once we get down. So we're going to track the 155 inbound. So let's say 188, head and select, right? Aircraft will track 188, and then so we want to go on to the 155 to track inbound. If we arm the VOR lock, which is now pre-armed, you're going to see in just a second the VOR lock will arm itself and then track inbound to the Golf Tango Quebec. And if that was a VOR approach, then the aircraft would lock onto the runway's VOR, which would sit right at the end near to the runway, and then you'd proceed down whether you're in VNAV mode, so VNAV path, or vertical speed. You'd then follow it down, but the aircraft would stay tracked into the VOR. So we've got VOR lock, which is set in right now, and you're going to see as the aircraft intercepts onto the Golf Tango Quebec, it's going to make a left-hand turn and then track the 155. So we'll put the 155 in, actually stay for the 188, I thought it was in LNAV mode. So there's a VOR lock now. The aircraft's making a left-hand turn and is now intercepting the Golf Tango Quebec. So that's how you use the VOR lock for VOR approaches. You can use LNAV and VNAV, which would be a standard, but in the real world I have seen the VOR lock be used for the VOR approaches as well. So now we're tracking the Golf Tango Quebec with the VOR lock in, tracking inbound the 155 track. And that is how you track the VOR in. But the only way you'll get this is just for VOR approach purposes. I'm just showing you it as we're at 360, but you can use it for the approaches. The only way, as I said, that will arm is being in head and select mode. It will not arm if you're in LNAV mode. So you have to make sure when you're coming in for a VOR approach that you are set in head and select before you track inbound onto the final approach fix. So there you go. That's how you do it. Get LNAV back in. Aircraft's tracking the Golf Tango Quebec anyway. That's the 155 which is tracked. Currently got 44 knot winds blowing over to the right of us. And it's nice and clear up above. All the cloud layers are down below. So it is quite calm as we progress down to lovely Geneva. So we've just passed straight over Luxembourg right now. Then from Luxembourg we're going to pass through Geneva, holding pass over on the left hand side for Turin, and then from Turin we're going to come in for the approach for 04 left. Currently down in Nice. There is 2 aircraft down in Nice. They'll be taking off from runway 04 right. We're going to be coming in for 04 left on the RMP Alpha approach at runway 04 left. So it's still quiet. I don't think there's going to be any controllers today coming through on the routing, but I'll show you as soon as we are here now. I'll show you the charts. As now Navigraph chart 8 is in on the sim. I didn't know when it first came out, Navigraph 8. I've got it on the iPad, so I've got everything that I need right in front of me. But for you guys to see we're pretty much just gone over Luxembourg right now. So we've just left over Luxembourg. Then we're going to travel all the way through, down past Geneva, Turin's just over onto the left of us as we hit Viva, and then follow it all the way down onto that left-hand turn, ready for the Viva arrival. This will be our arrival, so it's an RNAV arrival, 250 under flight level 100, all the way down, and then we hit Neres for our initial approach fix. And from Neres we're going to go straight to Bisbo, which is our initial fix, disconnect around the Foxtrot November 04 Alpha, and then fly the aircraft manually down into 04 left. Coming in off of 04 left, we're going to exit off of the Echo Golf, or the Golf 1, and if needs be we'll go up to Hotel 1 for the taxi off when we vacate. For parking stands coming in, we can take any parking stands really. We'll get one up on GSX, so that should be quite nice. So we're using the real-time weather as well on this flight, as well as, well, we're always using the real-time weather, but I meant to say we're using the real-world time on this flight to Nice today. Passing the Golf Tango Quebec, we'll then track right onto the 179, which is then going to be pretty much a straight line all the way down to Geneva, where we then hit the 183, 4 degrees over to the right, and then we come down to Aviva, which will be then in for our approach. So it's a nice flight, it's nice and sunny today. Okay, there's the 154, and now we've got the 179. Okay, 179, which is checked in. Oh, it doesn't look very nice down below underneath them clouds, but I'm sure that it will get better as we get down into Nice. I'm going to check the Nice's METARs over on Navigraph. We can check them actually on the Navigraph on here actually, so you guys can see that as well. So we've got the RMP Alpha, the RNAV Alpha 04 left coming in. We'll check the weather coming in. So weather right now 140 at 6, visibility is fine, scad at 4000, temperature 11, dew point 03, so the atmosphere is clear, no significant change. Hey, so we're coming in for 04 left. This is 8,622. On the arrival, we've got our auto brake settings through top cap performance for the arrival as well, which we did on takeoff. We did flaps 10 with a D rate 30 takeoff 2 configuration, and coming in on 04 left for the RMP. We've got the our approach speed's probably going to be about 153 coming in, and we're going to take an auto brake number 3. That should give us a margin of around about 1300 meters of landing distance. The margin will be probably around about 1200 meters coming in, so we'll probably come off with the Echo. If not, we'll take Hotel 1 near to the end. If we wanted to get that up now, 3.3 to 5.2, which would take our fuel quantity 3.3 once we come down in Nice. So that would be that'd be 1.8 off of our landing weight here, our gross weight. So that'd be 63.4. So let's just say, for instance, 63.4, and then 146. Set the winds down in Nice. at 6, that'll be a +5, so around about 151, auto brake number 2, which we'll come in for. So that should be fairly straightforward. Top Cat takeoff performance is really really well done for the 737's performance on takeoff. You just need to set up the correct weights for the aircraft, and it will program and give you a flex temp. You can either have a dual flex, so flex temp and a D-rate, or you could just do a D-rate or a flex on top. So it's a nice little system to have on board. Get that VOR off now. We'll get Geneva's VOR in. Geneva's 11575. When that comes inbound, then we'll know exactly how far away we are over on the left here. So there's no traffic up above here with us now for 360. Clear skies. So all around, it's a very nice stable flight today. We may get some controllers in, we may not. We'll certainly find out at some point on the flight. If we do, they'll call us up. We had Tower when we left out of Lubeck. Nice was on. They've currently gone off. They might come back on, as it is quite a popular airport. There's a few aircraft coming in. There's one aircraft coming in from Naraz for that RMP, you can tell. Now looking at it here on VATSpy or VATMap, VATScope. I use the VATScope app so we can see things. You can see us on there, Tomjet 472. You can follow us along on the routing, which is on the VATScope. We're currently just on the VATScope. We are currently just passing near to Strasbourg, so just next to Stuttgart we are. Looking on at Nice down on the ground, I can see that there's an aircraft coming inbound on 04 left. There's another aircraft sitting over, ready to go over on 04 right. So I'm not sure what they're doing now. There's no controller over there, obviously. But we're coming in for the 04 left RMP Alpha approach. I can see aircraft down on 04 right, but it's 04 left coming on the arrival. I've got the Swiss Geneva to Nice Vatsim event that I need to upload for you guys, which will be uploaded at some point on the weekend, and that was very packed. We had all of Geneva staff, there was all of Nice on board, the approach, everybody was on board. It was quite packed. We were sitting on the ground for about 20-25 minutes down in Geneva. There's about 7 aircraft lined up behind us. There was other aircraft waiting for their taxi clearance, and they was waiting about 15-20 minutes on top of that. It was a really lovely flight. I do need to upload that so you guys can check that out. Also got a Ryanair flight for Vatsim coming out as well. There was a bit of a glitch on the runway. The runway had a little bit of an uplift. There was a bit of an odd bit on the runway which made us like jump up about 50 feet in the air. So two nice flights. If you guys like them severe arrival landings, one's up on the channel now. If you guys do enjoy them very turbulent arrival short flights, like 10 minutes of the arrival landings, very severe turbulence, I've got another two to upload. We've got an A320 going into Liverpool, and we've got a 737 going into Heathrow. Very severe turbulence which has been set up for the arrivals. So if you guys do like that, don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell so you don't miss any of these flights, so you can always check them out when they do release. The flights will always release around 6 to 7 PM every evening. Archie, hello mate, hope you're doing well pal, hope you're having a good afternoon. So them flights will always release about 6 PM. The autopilot's right here mate. As you can see, there's the autopilot right there, and the mode control panel which basically controls the autopilot along with the FMC, which would is like the brains of the aircraft. So if you're flying on the left hand side, you'd put in CMD-A. If you're flying on the right hand side, you'd put CMD-B in. Whoever's flying the aircraft, it'll be either CMD-A or B, depending if the first officer was flying CMD-B. If the captain's flying, then it'll be CMD-A. I hope you're doing well mate. I hope that answers your question. So I've been in the air now for about an hour, out en route time. We've not got much long to go on this route. Off the progress 1440, south 1445, so 1 hour and about 55 minutes until we touch down. As we said before, we're doing 485 on the ground speed, so 485 nautical miles an hour. Got 355 to 359 to go. So we're looking about an hour's time to come in for arrival. Just around an hour, 55 minutes. Still tracking that 179 all the way down, and then we're going to make a slight right hand turn to Gila, and then we've got the Geneva, which we've got punched in for the 11575. The reason that your pink line isn't showing up is because it all needs to be done in the FMC via your route. So when you'd originally put in your origin and destination, you'd then go in and choose your departure. So we chose 07 departure. We've opened out 07 for the Hamburg 1 Alpha. Once you've chosen that, you'll go to route, then click the next page, and right here this will be blank with lines, and then if you use SimBrief to load up your flight, you can then punch in if it has an air ray, and then or a direct, any direct waypoints you'd put over on the right. If there's any airways, then you put them over to the left, and then once you've finished that and done all of your waypoints in, when you get to your arrival star, which will probably be the last waypoint of the start of the arrival star, which in our case today is Viva. So Viva would be the last one. So once we put all our waypoints and airways in, Viva will be the last one. We'll go to the arrival page, click on arrival. We're going to be taking in the Viva 7 Romeo, and we're taking in the RMP Alpha for 04 left, which is somewhere around here. There we go. So we're taking the RMP Alpha for 04 left. That is the RMP Alpha, it's just because it's got the line there. And then once we come in, that's pretty much it on how it's all set up. So that's the RMP Alpha. I don't know what it's saying, NVA, but that is the RMP Alpha for 04 left. It's probably where it's active. But that's how you would set your flight up to get it all in and above board. It's always good to put your tracking in as well. for the heading, even though we're running in on LNAV and VNAV. LNAV's controlling the direction of the flight, so lateral navigation and vertical navigation. VNAV controls up and down, lateral, left and right. Always put your track heading in, because if, say for instance, ATC decides to give you a vector off of the current heading that you're flying, you can then just quickly press the heading button. The aircraft will hold its track that it's currently flying, and then you can twist left to right, whichever direction that you're asked to go in. No, you're welcome, mate. I hope that answers your questions. Once the route's active, it will go pink. Before it's executed, it will just have lines, etc. With the Airbus, it's a little bit different. You know, I don't fly the Airbus too much. We've got the Phoenix in, but I don't fly it too much. Knowing the ins and outs, this is the aircraft I know the ins and outs of, as I've studied the LNAV and VNAV and certain components inside the aircraft. So I do know what this aircraft's doing, and if something is to go wrong, which hopefully it shouldn't, then it can be resolved effectively and quickly. The same with VNAV path. The aircraft will use the vertical navigation system, obviously, to start its descent for VNAV path. Once we leave 360, you're going to see a white line appear over on the right hand side with a little pink line there, and you're going to see the LNAV and VNAV. So you see the lateral deviation and the vertical deviation, a little pink triangle, just like the lateral vertical deviations here. A line's going to pop up with a pink magenta, a line in the middle, and it will show you your required navigational performance, your actual navigation, which will be about 400 feet. Once the aircraft starts its descent, you'll see the line pop up, which I'll show you guys where our top of descent is right here. And then the VNAV path is going to follow the vertical deviation all the way down to then compensate for the descent route that we have. So for flight level 220, we'll get our weather in, and the aircraft will follow the VNAV path. And for the RNAV approaches, the aircraft needs to be in VNAV path in order to fly the approach. If the aircraft goes off course, i.e. with its altitude, it can't make the altitude restraint because we're too high, we're coming in too fast, then the aircraft will switch from VNAV path to VNAV speed. And what VNAV speed is the same sort of principle as level change. The aircraft's going to hold the aircraft speed at whatever cost and disregard any altitude restraints coming down. So if we had to come down at 500 feet just to hold, say, 263, VNAV speed will hold 263 regardless of what our descent is. But in VNAV path, the aircraft will descend accordingly, disregard what our speed is, so we'd have to manually open up the speed brakes to slow us down, etc. And for the RNAV approach, the aircraft needs to be in VNAV path. If it comes out of VNAV path and goes into VNAV speed, then the aircraft isn't going to fly the descent profile for the RNAV approach. But the easiest way that you can get down onto the VNAV path again, you'd go into vertical speed, you'd see the vertical deviation, which will tell you whether you're, say, 3, 4, 500 feet, 2,000 feet below profile. You switch it into vertical speed mode, start the descent more greater than the deviation, and then the vertical deviation point will start to lift. Once it comes within around, I think, 400 feet, 3 to 400 feet of the actual center point for the deviation, then you can re-engage VNAV and the aircraft will go back into VNAV path. Once it hits VNAV path, then the aircraft is taking control of the altitude. So yeah, it's a little bit to take on board, but it's quite straightforward to understand. So you can see the snow just down and about. All the clouds are still up. So if you guys are having any trouble with your aircraft or the 737, don't hesitate to leave a comment with what the problem may be, as I find the 737 is a more manual aircraft than the Airbus, which is why I don't really fly the Airbus as of much, because it's just basically sit back, put the autopilot on and off you go. You know, your minimums on the approach is pretty much all you have to punch in with your wind, etc. With the 737, you know, you don't even have to put in your nav frequencies for the ILS, you don't have to put your courses in for the ILS, everything's all done for you, and all of the approaches pretty much are all run off of the approach. unless you're doing like a VOR or something, you use the FPA, the flight path angle, and the FMA. But I find everything's sort of done for you. So when it's a case of if you're new to flying an aircraft, then the Airbus would be something more acquainted for yourself, as it's very automated. With the 737, VOR approaches can be done in LNAV and VNAV. You can use the VOR lock. RNAV approaches are done in LNAV and VNAV. You've got the LPV approaches, which would run down on approach, but you just get, instead of getting the VOR lock and the glide slope, you'd get the glide path. So there's many different ways to set the aircraft up, but with the Airbus it's pretty much quite straightforward in layman's terms. You know, just sit back, relax, chuck the autopilot on, and away you go, pretty much. Which is why I don't really fly it too much. But it is one good thing that the Airbus is good for, is its auto trim system. You know, you pitch the aircraft up. It's just like running in CWS mode over on the autopilot, the CWS control wheel steering. You know, it's sort of similar to that of the Airbus. So again, just a little bit of turbulence now. You can hear the wind coming across. Just getting ready to pass over Geneva now, 23 nautical miles. Yeah, a little bit of turbulence. A little bit of rough air, should we say. So Geneva's going to be right down just next to us. Okay, so we're just making a left-hand turn now back to the 156.
Geneva traffic, 3733, stand 33, pushback.
So that's just us heading over Geneva now. We've just passed over Geneva's VOR. So I'm going to switch that off now. Top of descent. is in 85 nautical miles when we come down. It's a lovely livery, isn't it, mate? I do like TUI. You know, the blue colour is very vibrant. You know, it sort of reminds me of like a dolphin, the way that the blue sort of swings underneath and then over, sort of like a little dolphin. It reminds me of. Lovely livery now, so we're passing over Switzerland. So 85 nautical miles to go until our top of descent, ready to come in. Going to start putting our winds in as well for the arrival. So for the forecast, we'll check the transition level as well. I can't remember what the transition level was for Nice. So let's have a look. Transition's 5,000. Okay, so 050, get the weather down for the runway, which is 140 at 6, 360, so 250, 150, and 50. QNH is 1009, which is checked. Go get our winds that we've got from Simbury for the descent. So 021 at 16. Then we've got down 016 at 18. And then we've got the original, which is 140 at 6. So if you look on the screen now, there's the top of descent. Once we execute that, that's going to disappear, and then it will reroute itself if it needs to come closer or further. So it's always good to put your forecast winds in as the aircraft will recalculate itself for the descent phase, so it doesn't descend too late. If there was like tailwinds, then the aircraft would start its descent a little bit more earlier than opposed to where it would have originally gone down to. So we're going to move from the 156 to the 142 now. QNH to 1009, so pre-arm that. You can pre-arm the QNH by just spinning it. Once we start the arrival down, we'll start the initial descent. Put the initial descent for 180. Then Naris is 4,000 above. So we'll drop it down 180, then we'll go down to 5,000. That should be enough for us. Okay, so there's the 141. The ILSs, you can catch them here on the approach. If you was doing an ILS, the ILS frequency with the course would be right here. As we're using the RMP today, we're not going to be using that at all. We can set the courses in. Courses in for 04. Our final course is going to be the 354. Once we come down on the descent. Planning for an auto brake number 3. 354, which is checked and set. Getting the aircraft ready for its arrival. 33 to 42. Fuel quantity, which is 4.3 currently at top of descent. So 4.3 to 3.3, which is 0.2, which would be 62.3 on arrival. And then we're going to take flaps 30, 145 plus the 5, which is going to give us a 150 flaps 30. So VREF 30 plus 5, which is 150. Flaps 3, auto brake 3, which is going to set us in. A little bit of turbulence coming in on the aircraft right now. once we vacate off, we're going to either vacate off of Echo Yankee or Echo Golf, sorry. We're going to vacate off of, or Hotel 1. Then that'll be us all in, ready for stand. We'll come off at Golf 1, we can then take uniform and Foxtrot, depending on where we're going to go. So I'll see if GSX will turn on right now. We'll probably turn on once we get onto the ground. So nothing's come up yet. But once it does come in, once it comes into view, then we'll punch that in. We'll get a gate already set for it. So it's a little bit choppy. I was just flying over. So not too far to go now until we get into lovely Nice. Let's check the missed approach as well. Okay, so for the missed approach, the Mike November 04 Alpha turn right, max 185 to the Mike November Alpha 0504, maintaining max 3000, then proceed to the Mike November 1512, and then left turn to Naris. At Naris, join the holding pattern at 3000, so Naris will enter the pattern hold inbound 117, and then our outbound will be 297 once we leave. So 3000 feet, which will bug on the MCP when we're coming in on the approach. You can see on the approach 3000 we're going to be doing 150, so 150 will be an extra 50 odd feet, it's about 800 feet per minute on the descent. Currently making our last right hand turn before our top of descent onto the 171. Okay, we just checked. That's going to take us down to Viva for the arrival. So we'll start our top of descent just before Viva. You're going to see the throttle spool back just before we get to our top of descent. The throttles are going to spool back to our descent speed, which is 312.795. So that will go back down, and then the aircraft starts descent. 20 nautical miles to go. So cabin crew, get ready to go. We'll get a flight recorder replay system in as well. Once we get down to the Foxtrot November 04 Alpha, that's going to be the last point of the descent phase where we're going to step in. I just need to collect the minimums. That's where we're going to disconnect the aircraft and fly it manually. We've done the same approach on the Geneva to Nice Vatsim event, which I've got to upload for you guys. So do look forward to that and stay tuned for it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any future flights on the channel. So, as it's daytime, 2019-88, as we've got 12 feet elevation on the airport. So I put 2000 in on the Barrow. Can take a little while. I don't know why they didn't increase this to spin a lot more faster. Just above 10 nautical miles now before our top of descent. And if we get there just in time, we can then spin the altitude down. Okay, 2000. Drop down to 18,000 at 180. Okay, that's going to be our first altitude restraint that we're going to drop into. There's VVAR for the arrival. Your passenger signs can now come on. Everything overhead's fine, recall's clear. Water brake going to be set. The speed rate's going to be armed for now unless we need to open them up. So we should see the speed tape just drop down a little bit near to the top of the descent. Probably won't need to as we're right on board for the 795. There's our top of the descent now. The throttles will start to idle back and then we'll start the descent phase in the VNAV profile. So as I said, with VNAV path you're going to see the vertical deviation pop up right here in just a moment's time when we pass. So there's the descent, there's the vertical deviation, same with the vertical deviation point which is right here. So we're going to follow down, the aircraft's going to descend accordingly to stay in sync with the vertical deviation. As we pass through flight level 350, trans level is going to be 5,000 feet. It's just getting a little bit choppy. As we pass through flight level 330, 2,700 feet per minute. I'm just watching on the speed so we don't climb away. Once we get down into them clouds, then we get the engine anti-ice, which the engine anti-ice is on. We'll get the engine start switch is around about 10,000 feet. Nice traffic, Tomjet 472, descended through flight level 310 for 180, VVAR 7 Romeo arrival. So we're right on the fine line near the overspeed mark. Aircraft within 10 knots or 5 knots of the deviation of the speed. It asks for drag, I think it's 15, between 5 and 15 knots. It asks for drag. The aircraft's slowly descending now through flight level 29. It's a little bit choppy as it come in. See the wings flapping about all over the place. We're going to get the flight recorder replay system in, so once we do arrive down in Nice, stay on board as we will have a look at the cinematics. It's going to be a swooping right hand turn into 04 left, so it's not going to be a straight in approach. We're going to come in from the left hand side of the airport and then swing in whilst we're descending into the right hand side. So it's going to be a right hand turn as we then cross over the threshold, just straighten up and then touch down. So it should be very nice. Passing through 270. Check one more look just to see if there is a tower on. If there isn't, then we'll stay over on Unicom. So we're just basically to the right of Cuneo. Then we'll start making them slow left-hand turns into Nice. See if there's any aircraft down in Nice currently at the moment. Okay, so there's 3 aircraft down. They're going to be departing out runway 04 right. There's 2 aircraft on stand. There's a whiz. So there's an A320 Neo. 2 A320 Neos coming in on the stand. So they'll be getting ready to come in or go out. They'll be going out of 04 right, so they're going to have to cross over 04 left at some point. So they will cross our path if they don't come out but we'll keep in tuned, we'll keep in contact as we come down. Coming down the 168, we're going to take a left hand turn now, which takes us to 154. Okay, I want to get Nice's VORs in as well, so we can just sort of track the distance from the airport when we come in. So we've got the VORs, which is the Alpha Zulu Romeo, which is going to be the 10965. Okay, we'll keep that over there. The NDB, which is 1092. .2. It's very difficult with these. So I can't fiddle about with the NDB, so I'm not going to bother with that. We're going to fly it visually anyway. After 2,000 feet, when minimum call out, we're going to disconnect the autopilot and the auto throttle and fly it visually down. We'll be holding around 800 feet per minute on the arrival in, and coming down onto a lovely Nice. I should imagine it will be around the 040 mark. So we'll just keep 040 in as a reference. So passing through 200 on our way down to Amjo. No brake left, over round to Neris. Swinging in. Wings are flapping all over the place at the moment. Just a little bit of light air just hitting the aircraft. So we're going to be passing just over the VOR now for the Alpha Zulu, then brake left for 138 and 107. So you're going to see what I'm talking about with this approach. We're not going to be going straight in, so we're not going to be lined up with the runway just following it straight down in a complete line. We're coming from the side of the runway for this approach, which we can see at the Foxtrot November 04 Alpha. That's where we're going to disconnect and then follow in a swooping right hand turn into runway 04 left. So that's how the approach is going to work out for us today. Okay, 180, we continue the descent down to 5,000. Then we'll drop down to 3 as we continue in. So once we come in inbound, then we'll call up the traffic. There's no traffic around, they seem to be all on the ground at the moment. I'm going to lift just past the coast and then track a right hand turn all the way round into 04 left. So Nice is going to be just around here. Okay, the 107 is going to be next, and that's going to take us to basically Naris. That's going to be our initial approach fix. So 16,000 now, we get the engine start switches to continuous. Temperature's -7. 107 track. Average is checked. 312 down to 240 at Naris. Then we slow down to 190 for Bisbo, and then the next fix will be the minimums. And then we'll disconnect and fly the aircraft down. There we'll catch a glimpse of the coast. Vatsim 155 is a little bit choppy today, so it's definitely going to be a little bit bumpy on arrival. 312 to 240 for the MSFS 800, which is going to be just around here. Slow down, ready for Naris for 240, and then Bisbal is going to be where we start the RMP approach. So don't forget to like the video, guys, as we're ready to come in hot. Yeah, you cabin crew, take your seats for arrival. Thank you. Okay, this is quite a few aircraft. Thirty nautical miles to go. It's getting quite choppy now. Hey, so I'm checking in on the arrival. So I'm seeing aircraft going from the opposite side. It should be 04 left. It's only a 1 knot headwind. So we're going to find out. Okay, so there's a right hand turn now. So Swing the 263 to 297. Which is checked. $3,000 which is in and armed. Recalls clear, passing 10,000, landing lights, runway tunnel flights can all go on, which are checked. So you can see the wind really knocking in now. It's going to go down to 240. So it should be 04 left for the arrival. I'm seeing aircrafts going out at 22 right. Okay, we'll take our final right hand turn to Neres for the 297. Have a funny feeling that they're going out at 22. Only passing 9,002. Okay, no, they are going out of 04 right for takeoff, so that's fine. There's 240. Least traffic, Tomjet 472, 34 nautical miles, inbound to land, 04 left, least traffic. Okay, VNAV path's in. VNAV path's only going to take us down for 1,000 feet. So I'll say 8,004, go back for the 272. Okay, which is checked. There's an ECVR, 32 nautical miles. So it's always a long approach, this one. It's always coming in over the ocean. That's the one thing I don't like about this arrival route, is it takes you far out the coast and then turns you back in for the approach. It's very choppy. So for the approach checklist, we've got the auto brake setup number 3, plan the VREV 30 plus 5 for 150, which is checked. Engine start switch is continuous. Packs auto, bleeds are on. It's currently 1 degree, but there's no icing conditions. We can turn the anti-ice off now. That goes 3% lower N1 thrust on the idle. 3000 set on the MCP altitude, 2000 set for minimums, which gives us a 1988, 12 foot elevation over on the airport for Nice. Arrived in on 04 left, got 040 set in, we've got the VOR for the Alpha Zulu November for the 10965, which is set and checked, and we've got 1009 set for the QNHs for the arrival. Passing transition for 5000 feet, we'll just double check. I'm just checking this Wizz Air, just seeing where this Wizz Air is jetting off from, because he should be going out 04 right. So I'm just checking that just to see. So he's already gone, so yeah. 04 left, we're coming in. 04 right is going to be the departure runway. Passing through 6009, ready to come in for the RMP Alpha, runway 04 left. So if you go on, if you're on VAT scope, you can see it's just off the coast now, getting ready to come in. Weather's absolutely getting a little bit violent, but it's not going to stop the approach. I need to get the flight recorder replay system in as well. Okay, sim's going to freeze for about 3 seconds, 4 seconds, then it will come back. It's just getting the flight recorder replay system in. Okay, there we go. So holding 240 until we get just need to Bisba. Bisba's going to slow us down to 190 on our speed. And then just as we come down on the approach, we'll then call in onto Unicom and just let the guys down in Nice know that we are inbound to land. So this is going to be us now currently tracking all the way to Nice. ,3,000 feet. There's our decel point at 10 nautical miles. Let's see if I can get the 109.2 in.
Traffic, this is flight for Nice traffic with Air Canada 72, pushing back from 14 Charlie, and we will be facing north and will be taking off on runway 22 left. We'll call when ready to go. Pushing back,
22 left.
More to come.
22 left. They're coming in for 22 left. Are they really coming in for 22 left? I would have thought it would have been 04, because one of them's just gone off of 04 left. That's going to muddle things up a little bit. Yeah, it's because of the headwind. So, might have to quickly divert this flight. 22 right. Okay, I'm going to have to put 22 right in then. If they're all coming in on the arrival, then it's going to have to be 22 right. And this is going to mess things up. So Naris. Okay. Then from Naris the vector to the Manor. Okay. Okay, so we just have to switch the arrival route out. That's what we're going to have to do, which is going to mess things up for us. Not very good. Okay, so we get the 22 right approach. Nice traffic, Tomjet 472, 13 miles inbound, runway 22 right, Nice traffic. Okay, QNH 1009, which is set in. Now let's go and get this. There's a balloon in arrival for 22 right. Don't have Delta 22 right, that's what we need now. So Sotok, Nanix, coming into Nanix now. From Nanix we should be at 3,000 feet. Then we drop down, minimum's 1260 now. So I thought it was going to be runway 04 left. So 1260 on the minimum, same procedure except we're going to do a left-hand turn this time. Okay. 1260, drop the MCP down to 1100. And now the aircraft's going to get ready to descend. 1260 is where we disconnect. And then we come in, so we've got a minimum decision, 1260. The airport's elevation is still 12. So we had to just quickly reconfigure ourselves. This is going to be fun. And same on the approach, we've got the VREV 30 plus 5, so we're still coming down around 800 feet per minute. Okay, there's the runway. So I'm going to need to have a look. If we're coming in for 22 right, when we come down on the arrival, 22 right, vacate off of, well, vacate off of Bravo or Charlie 1. Okay, so let's get ready to go. Let's drop at flaps 5. Okay, just on a 5 nautical mile ring. Under 210 we go to flaps 10. That's just going to increase us down. It needs to be fully configured by the time we get down to our final fix. Speed brakes armed. Okay, so let's get ready to go. Let's get ready to rumble. There's runway lights. Check. Perhaps 15 gear down. I just want to be that path now. I'm falling down from 3,000 feet. So let's get ready to rumble. .272 is going to take us on to the 268. Okay, flaps 30. East traffic, Tomjet 472, 6 miles final, runway 22 right.
Monaco needs traffic at Air Canada 70, taxiing to runway 22 left via Uniform. Hotel 1 will be holding short runway 22 right for incoming traffic. Monaco traffic, Air Canada 72.
Super. So he's going to hold for us now as we come in. We've got auto brake set for number 3, gear down 3, green lights. Flap setting 30, which is checked. Minimums is coming in now as we get ready to disconnect. And just have a look over, there's runway 22 right. Minimums continue. Auto throttle, which is discontinued. Minimums continue. I'm going to continue the descent down. So I'm just going to get lined up with the runway. 150, continue the descent down. There's 22 right. 3,000, which can be set back in. Okay, which is checked. I'm going to going to turn in just a little bit. 1000 checked. Thanks, mate. We're going to need it. Okay, 2 red, 2 white. Get a bit of left rudder in. 500 checked. Oh, it's going to be a dippy one. Still going to get her in.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
Air Canada 72 holding short, runway 2 right at Hotel 1 for incoming traffic.
90. 10.
Okay, speed brakes are up. And reversers are active. Full pressure on the column. So that wind really did get us, didn't it? Okay, 80 knots, reversers can be stowed. There's Charlie and Golf. We'll come off at the end. Run the aircraft out. Okay, there we go. That was a very, that wind really took us off. Usually I'm quite good with the turns, but because we had the wind coming in our favour, it was just one of them ones. So we got the speed brake back up, flaps can be fully retracted. As we now vacate off, and we'll get our stand already as well. So this should be Alpha coming off now. Okay. East traffic, Tomjet 472, clear of all runways.
Air Canada 72 crossing runway 22 right.
Okay, landing lights, runway turn-offs, engine starts, which can go off. Taxi, so let's just stop here and have a look at the taxi route for us to come in. Parking stands, we are going to be taxiing via Alpha Uniform, so we'll come up the back end here. As we've got a taxi bay just there to the left of us, so we're going to come in Uniform and Delta for stand 67. I think that's 04 left, I think we can take here, can we? Yeah. Okay, so let's go in the taxi onto stand.
Vertical traffic, Air Canada 72 lining up for runway 22 left.
So I'm just seeing what gate we're going to take. Take stand 67 via Uniform Delta Tango. East traffic, Tomjet 472, taxiing stand 67 via Uniform Delta Tango, Tomjet 472 and East traffic. Okay, I think this is Uniform. Then we're going to go in to Delta and then Tango. So we've got the replay system in as well. So we've got Uniform, Delta is going to be the third left. Clearing the aircraft up now, APU can be switched on.
Air 72 taking off runway 22 left, 67 X-ray departure.
So it says he's taken off, but I don't see no traffic. Okay, let go to standby. There's an EasyJet getting ready to go in. I've just told him we're going to go through Delta, so there's Bravo. Charlie, then Delta, and then left onto stand at 67. So let's see if we can get that up now for GSX. I think it's just done the wrong one.
East traffic, Air Canada 72, clear runway 22 left, passing 1000.
Okay, I can see it now. Hey Harry, hello mate. Hope you're doing well, pal. Nice to see you, my man. So, we're going to go in right here at Delta. Now Stan's just over there in front of us. So I'm just watching this EasyJet. No, this is the only leg today, mate. Just going to be doing the one for now. Yeah, there's the EasyJet. We're going to take a left on right onto Tango.
East Monaco traffic, Air Canada passing 3300, climbing to 300.
Just making sure this is the right stand. It shows 6-7 on stand. I'm waiting to see our marshal, if he's there. He should be over here. There he is, I think. Should be us right here, but I don't know where the hell he is. There he is. We see him. Yeah, defo mate, defo. I will put up a community post when we're going up next. Definitely mate. Okay, so 6-7 Alpha, here we go, turning in for the marshaller. Okay, so there we are, all down in Nice for the arrival. They're ready to shut down, put the parking brake on. I'm going to show you guys the landing cinematic as well. That was a pretty jumpy one coming in, the wind really caught us off guard. That's no worries, Harry. It's great to see you, mate. At least you got in here just in time. I'm going to show you the cinematics anyway, so you'll see the arrival. So you haven't missed anything, mate. We're going to show you the arrival one more time. The camera views, I just set them up myself. You can set them up inside the menu, but I have them set to control and then the numpad like 1 through to 9, just like how it used to be in X-Plane 11, because that's what it used to be for X-Plane 11. So that's what I use it for. So I think there's a different way, you have to change them to that, I think, in the menu for the view setting through the views. But I've changed it so it's control and then numpad 1 through to 9. So let me just put on the landing lights. Let's just get this all done. There we go. Okay, so that was us already on the ground. Okay, so we get it there. Let's get the landing lights on and everything, and then we can do it. If you don't have all of these on, then the aircraft's not going to It's not going to put them on when you're coming into land. So yeah, it was a very rocky one, that was. Let's just get right. Oh god, let's get off a V-pilot. Whoops a daisy. Nearly took the EasyJet out. Oh, what a legend. Oh, great stuff. Right, there we go. So let's just get a view set up. Wow, nearly took the EasyJet out. Forgot to disconnect. That would have been fun, wouldn't it? So yeah, we had to basically switch runways right at the last minute. It was coming in for 04 left. I had a funny feeling that they were coming in for 22 right, because I could see aircrafts going over there, and I was thinking, well, what's going on here? You know, like, are they all going over there? And then I see that they was when I heard someone saying that we're going for 22 left, and I was like, oh dear, we're going to have to. So we quickly changed it. Just done the RMP Delta for 22 right, but it was a very shifty approach, that's for sure. So that was the arrival in. Always remember with the flight recorder replay system, you have to reset the speed brake back, otherwise it won't work when coming into land. So enjoy the arrival, guys. That wind really caught us off guard right on that left. It's because it was blowing over to the right with us when we was coming in for 22 right, and I should have compensated it a little bit more, but because I couldn't see the runway out on the corner, I had part of the windshield blocked. I was sort of like slowly, as you can see here, just making little left-hand adjustments just to try and get the run lights in view. As the wind tried to sweep us over to the right, you'll see the rudder get kicked in, and then literally just managed to compensate and get the aircraft back down. So there was the left turn, then compensated more left to really turn in. You're going to see that rudder kick. So there's the left, watch the rudder. The rudder's going to kick back. So really had to kick that rudder to get the aircraft back onto centre line. So I don't know what happened there. Might be something to do with the views. Well, you got slow-mo anyway with it. Could be my RAM running out. It's been on for a little while today. So we're going to leave you with the flight, guys. If you want to re-watch it over, then feel free to do so. There's probably the RAM running now. It's nearly to its max capacity. So thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you for the next flight on the channel. I'll leave a community post for you guys to tune into so you know when we're going to be flying next. So have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, Aircrips. I'll see you soon, mate. Harry, you'll have a great day, and I'll see you on the next flight. Bye bye.